Nadine, in prior interviews, I've heard you talk about flexible capital. In your mind, what is flexible capital? And second part to that question is, how do you price flexible capital in today's market?
So for us, providing flexible capital is really being a solution-led lender. We're looking at what does the borrower need? What are they trying to achieve? What's their business plan? How can we make our capital work for them? Ultimately, we can provide short-term liquidity. We can do multi-jurisdictional acquisitions, things that perhaps banks are really not able to provide for because of the complexity. Capital adequacy requirements for banks across the UK and Europe for real estate loans makes it incredibly expensive for them to really perform well in that market. And then you look at just the nature of the types of deals that we do, which mean that for banks, it may be more difficult. Short-term credit solutions, banks don't ultimately really like to look at that type of deal, for example. And that market definitely allows us to price accordingly because of the scarcity of the capital. So what borrowers will often do is, if, for example, it's a short-term piece of capital, they'll pay up a little bit for that capital because they're using it for a solution for them. Maybe it's that transitional bridge. It comes in, it does what it needs to do for that exit opportunity, and they come out quickly, having used our capital to provide for that solution. So that, in my mind, is being flexible. It's showing a borrower that we will try and work with them to achieve what they are looking to ultimately achieve.
Bridge, senior, junior.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter where you sit on the capital structure. Yeah. It's more about what are they ultimately wanting to achieve and can we support it? And often what we can do is support market opportunities that banks can't.
And Nadine, how important is that relationship with underlying borrowers and getting to know them? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
You can't make a good loan to a bad borrower. That's the mantra that we have in Zenzic, and I think all my team are bored of hearing me saying it, but that is what we repeat almost on a daily basis. The relationship with the borrower is essential. When you think about the journey of a loan, you're not just in transactions like ours, waiting for the capital to come back after 7 years in a covenant-light lending environment. Here we're putting bespoke loans together. They're often milestone or covenant heavy. We may well be very involved in the business plan execution. Sometimes we sit on the boards of the businesses to help execute that business plan. And so for us, what is essential is that we have really strong communication with the borrower throughout. And often you can really know whether a borrower is going to be a good chaperone of your capital from the minute you speak to them. And that's really what I look for. I focus obviously on both the quantitative and the qualitative aspects of a loan, of a transaction. But for me, all of the qualitative aspects of assessing a loan and a borrower is an essential piece of how we think about lending.